Okay, so I've got my After Effects file open here. I've got one saved as Creative Cloud, but it should just tell you to update it. Shouldn't be really any different. Um, if the graphic spacer tab is not open, that's the one you'll want to be switched to. Hopefully they all are showing. You should have graphic spacer, the Medic Excel page, which is page 2. The family shot isn't necessary. To have the spec sheet one and the print one, and that's optional. I'll get to that in a minute. So the first thing, by default, I have the graphic spacer.psd open. So instead of having to import them every time, since I also using this in the proofs to kind of save time, you can just kind of put an image in here that you want. So I just click through this guy in here, and we just resize that to how I would want it, and it does not like to act very well while I'm video recording. So there we go. I assume you know how to do that. So there we go. So I'm just going to save that. Oh, apparently it doesn't like my hotkeys while video recording. So went manually hit save, and then I go back here, and yep, there you go. It just automatically updates for me. So if I go to the second page, this happens sometimes where, notice this here is on frame -1. Well, that doesn't exist. So if you just click anywhere in there, you can bring it back. I'm going to switch this to fit up to 100%. And so there's my Wendy's logo. So that came in, oh, well, with my Ronald McDonald head. So how I've been doing this is taking the RGB value of a color, and here's my little swatch here. If the effects control is not showing, then what you want to do is just go to Window, Effects Controls, and I think by default this is where it brings it up. It's kind of hard to get back and forth between your project there, but sometimes you have to resize the window a little bit to get to your project folder. But so click on the master fill, click on that color, and then enter your RGB colors to whatever you want. I'm just going to pick a random bright pink color today, but you should just use the standard colors for the most part. So then you go down to the layer named master color, and you'll see there's hue and saturation as well as exposure applied. I usually reset the exposure to 0 just to brighten it up some. You'll see all the colors kind of change there, and then you just kind of bring the hue. So if you reset those both to 0, there it's the impact red. So just kind of usually just visually tweak it to whatever color I need. And let's see here. Oops, wrong way. It's not very fast while it's video recording, so let's pretend that that's close enough. So this is linked to all the other ones, so remember to turn off the intended color, because that's just kind of showing you, what color legs they think they have. So same thing with the family shot. So you'll see this whole thing is updated. You'll notice the white outline here. So a lot of times you don't want that. So I'll just go through, turn off contiguous. Usually I try and use the actual vector artwork, and oh, I have to save. Oh, I did. Use the vector artwork instead, and then once that actually updates, there you go. So now I don't have that outline anymore. It'll just, because since we don't actually print white, that's more how it looks. So once you get the color and the label applied, all you have to do is just go to the spec sheets. Typically, you can do this for the print one. This one is automatically double wide, so you can staple it in the middle. You print it double-sided, staple it in the middle, and it's a booklet. but this one works the same way, and this is for the PDF. So if you hit Control Shift question mark, I'm not exactly sure where it is. I think it's under composition. I'm not sure where that is anymore. They moved it, and since I always use the hotkey, I don't know where it is anymore. So that's add to render queue, and then what you want to do is click on where it says lossless. You don't want an AVI because that's a video. You want a TIFF sequence. Make sure it's just RGB and hit OK. So when you render that out, I'm just going to keep it in this test folder here. I'm going to save this as tests in a subfolder. So hit render, and it just goes through and saves each page as a TIFF. Oops. And I can't remember exactly where I put that, so I'm going to quick head over here, copy that path, and go there. Oh, and of course my hotkeys are not working. Oops. So I put all mine here. There we go. So I saved them here. You select page 0 through 9, right click, combine files in Acrobat. I assume you have Acrobat Pro installed. And once it does that, that should be it. I think I can just hit combine files now, and it goes ahead and does it. Yeah. So it was trying to make a preview, but it gets a little confused because the TIFFs are kind of large. And there we go. Opens it up, and I think that's, oh, cancel. You will have to save it though. Save. I'm going to choose different folder. Well, I'll just put it on the desktop. And here it is, test. So that's my thing there, and I want to make sure that it's an appropriate size. Good. So it should be around 4 megabytes. For most of them, it does change a little bit depending on what color you've got. So that's really it as far as I can think of. Yep. So I've obviously got a dual monitor set up here, so if it's going to be a little bit more crowded if you only have one monitor going. And like I mentioned before, if this happens, this -1, that's one of the weirdest things that happens, is just click and drag in there, and that kind of fixes it up. I think that's it.